very small proportion of children will develop, respiratory distress syndrome and require ventilation, require ICU care. In less than 1%, MISC will develop, and there's a variant of MISC where children can have very high fever and develop shock, which means their blood pressure can drop and they need emergency attention. There's another small group, very small subgroup of children with MISC who will develop cardiac manifestations, something known as Kawasaki syndrome-like entity. So the proportion of children who will get into trouble is very, very small, and I think that is very reassuring. So if we look at the Spanish flu pandemic, there were 3 waves. So there's a lot of speculation that will there be a 3rd wave. So well, let's hope and pray that there isn't. But let's assume for a moment there is a 3rd wave. I think we'll be a lot better prepared, whether it's logistics, whether it's medication, whether it's oxygen, whether it's beds, whether it's infrastructure. And if it comes to that, more children get impacted, well, we don't quite know if that will be the case, because in both the first and the second waves, we've seen children get impacted. But there is a school of thought that because children would not have been vaccinated if the 3rd wave comes a few months down the road, and a substantial proportion of adults would, so children will remain vulnerable and they might be seen to get more infection. Well, even if that happens, let's look at the ground realities from the first and second wave. Children get very mild infection and they don't really require hospitalization. So to all the parents out there, please don't worry. Of course, it doesn't hurt to be prepared in terms of infrastructure from the hospital point of view, because those beds and that infrastructure can always be used later for children with other conditions. But please don't worry and don't think too much and agonize too much about the 3rd wave and the impact it will have on children.